big thanks from the Wheelbase team. And we have more Wheelbase team members than this. This are just the ones that have the best pictures. So we have them representing us. But the Wheelbase team is here to support you and live day in, day out to advocate for you, to help you win in your businesses and to bring Wheelbase to more businesses who are scaling in this amazing, amazing industry that we're in. I think we all know that this year, although there was probably some scary moments, some tough times, I saw some people with some challenges with vehicles and renters, maybe not driving them as well as they should this year. But through all the ups and downs, we just want you to know that we're here with you. We're here to support you. We really want to do our absolute best to do everything we can for you guys to be successful, grow your businesses. And I've seen many cheers go up in our team this year, very virtually in Slack. But when we hear you guys have big wins, I got a note from someone yesterday saying that their business had 11 departures yesterday, and that was a new record for them for any day ever. Now think about that. That's November 16th in the year, and that was their biggest day they've ever had. And they're in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm not even saying this is someone in Australia or New Zealand. This is Northern Hemisphere. So we're here. We get super excited when we hear those stories. We know most of the interactions, like with the support team, are help and support on different things you guys need with, but we really love to hear about those good ones too. All right, we'll keep moving forward. And I'm super excited to pass the virtual mic over here to Jeff, who is our founder and CEO, to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on and Wheelbase.
Let me get my mic. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Sound okay? Good. I'm wearing my headsets. That way I get a nice clean sound. So thanks everyone for having me attend this summit. And thank you all for being part of the Wheelbase community and for bearing through what has been one crazy year for all of us. I recall back in March when this big pandemic thing hit and the fears of many of our customers were expressed to us on a daily basis. And then to watch this incredible rebound happen has really been something new for, I think, all of us. I haven't seen anything like this in my life, and I'm really happy that it has been so powerfully strong for the Wheelbase community and for the services that you all provide to consumers that want to leave cities, that have lockdown fatigue, that want to get back to nature and get outside. So this kind of concept of a road to wellness, if you will, to use that parlance, is exciting to know that you've played a big part in potentially helping families and helping consumers all over America and all over the world. So a few things I wanted to share with you all today is, many of you have been with us from the very, very early days of Wheelbase, when Wheelbase had one developer on it. And it was a product that was built in the field, completely based on feedback from professional rental operators. We didn't sit in a conference room at a whiteboard and come up with Wheelbase. We really had no idea what to build. So the early days of the product development was just spending time in front of you guys and learning what you wanted and listening as best we could. Now, I know to a degree, your success and our success has spurred a lot of growth for both of us. And to a degree, we didn't invest at the level we should have invested in Wheelbase. So I'm here to share some things with you today. So for one, we are making significant investments in Wheelbase. Our CTO, whom you'll hear from today, his name is Arpan Nanavati. Arpan has started to install a dedicated Wheelbase engineering team that will be at 15 people strong by the end of Q1. It's led by Ryan Cook, whom many of you know. That Wheelbase engineering team will be at 5 developers, dedicated developers, so they don't do anything but Wheelbase by Christmas. So we'll be at 5 by Christmas, but the hiring plan is to be at 15 by the end of Q1. The other thing that we've done is we are adding right now a dedicated Wheelbase product manager to the company. We have a final candidate. This is someone that has a lot of passion for not only recreational vehicles. Interestingly, this person has a lot of passion for barbecue and military veterans. One of his hobbies is to make large barbecues, like big scale barbecues for military veterans. So go to like church parking lots and things like that and put on these big barbecue cook-offs, particularly designed around those who have served in our armed forces. So we're pretty excited about this candidate, and hopefully we'll be able to announce this person relatively soon. We're also installing a new program called Field District Managers. And our goal is, while we are a tech company, and because of COVID, we're having to live through all these software interfaces like Zoom meetings and so on. We want to get back to the world of having in-person relationships as much as possible. So what we're doing is we're opening up a variety of roles. We're opening up roles in a variety of locations, geographies. The first being Southern California. We'll do Florida, we'll do Texas. And our goal is to be in all the regions in North America with dedicated field-based district managers. And these are people, their sole job is to meet with you, to work with you on what best practices we can build around your business to help support your business, whether it's insurance, whether it's financing, whether it's getting you more vehicles, whether it's getting you programs to help grow your business, like small business loans, potentially, not just vehicle loans, but actually loans to operate your business, a variety of things like that. And we want to do it at the field level so that we can have more personal time with everybody. And we're hoping to get our first person in Southern California as soon as possible. We've already identified who that person is. So we're just working to get them up and running. But we'll have the field district manager program located all over the North American marketplace. Later in the summit, and I should pause for a moment and say, my goal for this summit and for the company, for our company, is to open our ears and listen to what you need, what you want, what frustrates you, what we can do better to support you and help you grow your business. You are the power base of our entire platform. And the power base of the platform are those of you who operate this as a real business. This isn't a passive enterprise that you do off your kitchen table, although many of you may operate off your kitchen table. But our view is that you are professionals. You are professionals that are interested in growth and providing a great service to travelers and to the community, and we want to be here to support it. So as I mentioned, things like insurance that we're working on, things like financing services that we're working on, we're going to start putting those in front of you to get your feedback. Some of it you'll hear about in this summit. In particular, one of the things that we are kicking off, which I'm not going to cover here because you'll hear about it more in the summit, is this thing called the Ambassador Program. And the Ambassador Program, I believe Jen and Jessa and the team will walk you through it, but we want to have the Wheelbase community have a seat at the executive table of this company. And the executive table also includes myself and members of the board of directors. And our goal is to make sure that we continue to listen and that you represent the field, the requests, the needs, the trends that you're seeing in the field, and that we get that right into the boardroom of the company. So this ambassador program will be talked about with the team. I did want to share with you, there's a group of guys, if you're familiar with this company called AutoNation, it's a big company. Wayne Huizinga was the founder of it. The team from AutoNation has formed a new company called RV Retailer. They're headquartered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but they have offices all over the country, 35 dealerships right now, but their goal is to grow into several hundred dealerships. And I was meeting with them in Fort Lauderdale last week, and I said, I want to have a program with you guys, with RV Retailer, where our pros can get vehicles, new vehicles as well as used. And I know the market is very constrained right now with supply, but new vehicles as well as used vehicles through a very streamlined purchasing process, potentially at dealer cost, maybe plus an administrative fee, service programs where you can take your vehicles to these service bays, they get certified for the platform, and where we could put together relationships with a variety of dealerships that are under the RV Retailer umbrella for the Wheelbase community. So this would be Wheelbase specific. They're excited about the program. We've been sending documents back and forth to try to kind of figure out all the details and how it will work. We won't have anything to announce yet at the summit, but very shortly thereafter, they have a bias towards action, and they're excited about the Wheelbase community as well. And along with that, there's some things that we're thinking about in terms of vehicle leasing and vehicle financing programs that we're hoping we could announce in Q1 of 2021 to help you build your fleets and to get access to more vehicles without having to tap your personal credit lines or home equity or struggle with business loans that might not be so easy or may be difficult to achieve. We're working on that. We'll be able to announce something. I expect we'll be able to announce something in Q1 around a financing program with RV retailer designed explicitly to put more supply in your hands so that you can fulfill the demand. Because in 2021, you're going to see secular trends. Secular trends are these things that are locked in that are going to drive a lot of consumers into your business. Your businesses, as you probably have experienced in the course of the last 6 months, have grown. They're going to grow significantly in 2021 because the secular trends, if you think about what we're doing right now, we're on a Zoom call. And because of the pandemic, we all had to learn how to do Zoom. We had to learn how to do video conferencing. We had to learn how to work from remote locations. But one of the things that the pandemic also has taught the consumer is how to use and experience RV travel as an alternative to mass market hotels and mass market cities and mass market airlines. And consumers are falling in love with this form of travel. And so potentially think that 2 to 3 years of marketing work has just been snapped in because of what we've experienced globally. You're going to see a lot more consumer awareness around RV travel, around camping, and travel into nature. Jen likes to call it the road to wellness, which is truly what it really is. People that can evade the pressure of the societal pressures that happen in many of the large cities and escape into Mother Nature. And now we have formed with you guys kind of a perfect storm, if you will, around how consumers have discovered RV travel, how they're falling in love with it. And if you're paying attention to the news and the media, you see it virtually every single day. There's another story. And it's now mainstream stuff like Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Newsweek. These kind of publications are now talking about the consumer's new love affair with RV travel. That's only going to pick up in 2021. So we want to be here to support that level of growth that's going to come your way in the form of getting more supply into your hands. Of course, improving Wheelbase so that it's a better product for you, that it's more reliable for you, and it has the features that you need to not only support your current business, but to grow it, whether it is multiple locations that you want to grow to, or you want to increase your fleet, or some of you may want to stay small, but we want to make sure that the software is world-class and that there's a very happy customer base around the software. So with that, that's my part of the summit. I want to thank you all for being customers, being vocal with us. Don't hold anything back during the summit. Give it to us straight. Don't feel that you have to be too kind or that you have to pull any punches. We really need to hear from you guys what you want. So we have thick skins. We know that we've got a lot of work to do on Wheelbase. We've got a lot of work to do to fix the things that you've been asking to be fixed. So give it to us straight. I will tell you, when you meet with Arpan Nanavati, our CTO, Arpan is like he's the ultimate war chief, and he can take it. So give it to him straight. That way he can then invest, because I've given him open budget to do what he needs to do and the headcount that he needs to put in place to make sure that this product and this community are well invested and well served. So with that, thank you for being part of this and part of this great adventure that we're on. I wish we could do this in person. We will hopefully, after the vaccines are out and everybody's comfortable with travel again, we're going to figure out how to do this somewhere in some location where we all get together and maybe have some of that barbecue and some beer together. But for now, Zoom will have to suffice. But thank you again for letting me be part of this. With that, I'll turn it back to our host.
Jeff, thank
Let's
you
make
so
it a
much.
sunny location.
Definitely sunny, near a lake or ocean, I think is always preferable, especially if I can go fishing. Real quick, for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Evan Hopkins. I have the pleasure of supporting the implementation and support team, the business development team for Wheelbase, and getting to work really closely with our product and engineering groups. But most importantly, I get a chance to meet so many of you. I can see a number of people in there who I've been in your businesses visiting. I see people in there who I have been in your houses. I know I've been in a couple homes because that's where you guys operate your businesses out of. And last year I had a chance to spend time in Australia and in Europe and a number of countries meeting with people. And it's amazing how there's so much similarity around the world on why people get into this type of business. And of course, there's a point in making money. That's a big part of it, of course. But I think many people get into this because it is something that they love to do themselves. They love to make people really, really happy, their families, individuals, people who are going out for a variety of reasons. seeing them have great vacations, great trips. And there's so much passion about that. And again, I saw that all the way around the world. Um, Wanted to highlight, of course, we got some of our team members on there. You will hear later today from Horace and from David, who are on there. You're gonna hear from Karina as well, as Horace and Karina take some time to go through some of the best things that you guys need to know or could learn more about Wheelbase. We have Arpan on there, who we're going to talk and hear from in a second, as well as Andrew, who leads our product team. So number of people on here, and then we have some panels that we'll get into as well. So really excited about that. I think everybody should be able to see the poll results as well. So just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a check-in on there. We might relaunch it again in a little bit here after I talk about it, so we can add in some more of the content. There we go. But let's see what we got in there. So first of all, grew over 50%. So 43% of the people on here grew over 50% this year. That is super exciting. When you add up the 25 and the up a little bit, that is the vast majority of people who were up. And for anyone who was down a little bit this year, I know some regions had extra tough challenges in lockdowns and potentially even international travel. So I know some people who really relied on that were greatly impacted. But overall, really great to see so many people up this year. Fleet sizes. So I think this is something we definitely see. We have a lot of users sort of in that 20, like sort of 5 to 20 range, using Wheelbase really successfully. We got a couple people in there who are in the 20 to 49, about 15%, 16%. And then we got someone in the 50 to 100, and then we got someone on here who is over 100, which is really exciting. I know we have a few users over 100. We have one over 200 on the platform right now as well. So exciting. I think you can get a chance to hear from them a little bit later. In regards to bookings, so mostly from the site, about 45%, from platforms like Outdoorsy, 51%, a little bit from offline marketing, and someone with no idea. So if you're not sure how you're getting those, you message Horace and team, and we will help you figure out, so you always know how you're getting your bookings. So definitely always want to make sure you guys know that. One person thinks they're better than Horace at Wheelbase, so we'll see if they're willing to share their name in there. We might have maybe that's Karina, maybe it's Karina or Gabriel, but so one person thinks that. Lots of experts, people are okay and still learning. So thankfully everyone knows what Wheelbase is on there, or else you were in the wrong Zoom. But I think that's something, right? There's always an opportunity to learn, kind of get better, and we want to continue to do that, especially as new things roll out. And then taking a look at sort of how businesses are broken down. So we have a little over half are completely owned for people who are on right now. One person is all consigned, and about 45% are a mix. So that's very, very interesting there as well. Awesome. So it is going to be open up for a little bit longer. If you didn't get a chance to put your information in there, good to kind of understand when you're hearing from other people what it is that they are doing and how their business is set up. If you're putting any information in chats, or if you wanted to share, I see some people sharing their websites. If you want to share your Instagram, you guys want to engage each other, there's lots of opportunity to get to know and connect with others. Again, we'll have some breakout rooms and things along those lines, but part of this is hopefully building your network. There's a lot of really smart people on this call who you could reach out to and ask for help. So don't hesitate to engage in chat. And again, direct messages are possible in there as well. Let's get into some numbers though. So if we skip forward here, taking a look overarching on the platform, kind of going through Wheelbase, over 17,500 bookings as of this morning, when I pulled this number, have gone through the platform. Incredibly exciting. Now, from a growth perspective, as we move forward here, that's a 17% increase year over year. So we kind of saw the numbers as people saying like over 50, 25, et cetera, some people a little bit down. So a growth of 17% year over year. What's really interesting when I take a look at it, and we'll find out what happens when the year ends, but there's still a lot of strength right now. So I think in the summer, you guys are usually fully booked, right? Very, very like high occupancy, but often the occupancy drops off a lot at the end of the year. So the opportunity is really through this last chunk of the year for many people in a different way than it is in the past. So I think that's where we'll actually see a much higher year over year bookings. And we're definitely seeing that at the aggregate level. And I'll do a little bit more talking at the Outdoorsy level, what they're seeing there as well tomorrow. But I think that's the biggest opportunity for many people right now, especially if you're in the southern, more closer to the equator where there's a little bit more of an extended season. Next number to take a look at here is the average booked nights. So just want to give everyone a bit of a benchmark. So almost 7.5 nights is the average. So something to think about. Type of RV you have, right? If you're doing a trailer versus a motorhome, what exactly you're doing, where you're located, can definitely have big impacts on this. But that's sort of the benchmark that we're seeing this year. Very similar to last year on Wheelbase, so that didn't change a whole bunch, but we did see some spikes in it throughout the year overall. But this is the year-to-date number. The next number to take a look at for us is the amount of bookings covered by roadside. So we saw a really big uptick of bookings coming through Wheelbase that were covered by roadside this year. This number is a bit higher than I expected because we still haven't rolled out roadside capabilities through our platform in Europe or Australia or New Zealand. So this is primarily just in North America, but we've still seen a really big increase of people using and utilizing the roadside assistance. We also saw on the next slide here an increase in people with trip insurance. Now, trip insurance, depending on when you bought it, made a really big difference this year. People who bought trip insurance in January and then they got impacted by COVID was really easy to sort of take advantage of versus people who are buying it later on. And trip insurance, there's definitely some points in there about how you can use it if there's something that's already known, right? So an example was people who were, buying trips to go to Italy after they had already had their lockdowns, right? The trip insurance would no longer cover for COVID lockdowns, but if you got COVID yourself, then it would impact. But I think we saw a really high increase in people turning on trip insurance on the platform, as well as many people reaching out. And again, we know this from the Outdoorsy part of our business is that many, many more people asking about it and asking more details about it. So another one to definitely consider and take a look at as you're growing, if that's not something that you're already doing. All right, on the next slide here, this is probably one of the biggest increases I've seen on anything, on any metric I've been looking at this year, is the interior damage. So again, just in North America at this point, but really well done by many people positioning this to your renters, right? People who are coming in, damage deposits. I know people did different things with how they were applying damage deposits when people took interior damage, etc. But tons and tons turned on in the platform, and then lots of users taking advantage of it. Something that people just gives them a little bit more peace of mind when they're going on the trip. So definitely a really big number. I know many people on the platform here went from 0 to actually using it, and some really big uptake rates on their bookings. So lots of interesting growth there for sure, and people using the premium services. All right, and a number that I wish was a lot higher, but I think I think some of you guys were even a little bit nice to us when we did the survey for our NPS number, coming back as a 20. For anyone who's not familiar with NPS, it takes your promoters and detractors and people who are neutral, and basically nets it out and gives you an outcome of how many people are out there promoting you versus detracting. Our goal is to more than double this next year. And we're working on the details on exactly what that goal is going to be, but we know that there's things that we can do, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that over the next few slides here and the next about 30 minutes. But there's definitely some things we know we can improve, and then we want to continue to get your feedback and insights on how do we make this even better. But if we go to the next piece of information we have slide-wise here, breaking it down a little bit, you can kind of see how an NPS score works. So 46% were promoters. That's the 9s and the 10s, 7s and 8s on the passive, and then the detractors are the rest of them. So even if it's a 6, that ends up on the detractor scale, which that's definitely not a promoter if you're feeling like there's that much challenge in a system. So we saw a bit of a distribution here for sure. But then we were able to break it down a little bit more. And again, thanks for the information and detail that people put into that survey. On the next slide here, it breaks down some of the things that you felt that we need to keep doing. And keep investing in the support team. That was heard very loud and clear. How reactive they were, their knowledge that they had on there, how friendly they are. All of those things are really important. And you heard Jeff talk about it. Investing. Keep investing in the product, features. Get rid of bugs, etc. Keep investing, really important. And as you heard Jeff, we're more than doubling down on that. We're going to go from 3 to 15 engineers in a very short period of time and ramping them up, bringing in a principal product manager, designers, all of those things. So we will keep investing in that and keep listening. We're not going to go into a back room and try to think up what we believe you guys might want. We're going to do our best to listen directly to you. Got to make it more user friendly. Even little things where you got to click a couple extra times. Well, with the amount of bookings you guys are doing and interactions you're having with customers, each one of those clicks adds up in a year. And I know for myself, I'm always looking for what's a faster way. I had a session with my team yesterday with a small group of the team where we were talking about how do we use our tools more efficiently and stay more organized. And those are things that we can do in the tool. So having a focus on UI UX, that's going to increase, and we think we can do even better. And then being really collaborative, ask for feedback, engage you. So those are the things we need to keep doing. More importantly, let's flip to the next slide, which talks about what do we got to do better? Where do we got to improve? So invest in the product. Well, that was on the other one too. So again, hearing loud and clear, more resources, more people, more listening. Those are all really important. And I think just below that, the bug fixing, again, loud and clear on getting those things that aren't working quite right, whether that's reporting, payment, processing items. We know those things need to be better. We know those need to be accurate, that there needs to be 100% confidence always in those types of the system, no matter how you're using Wheelbase. So big focus on those. Other expectations, we heard about wanting the mobile app, more reporting options, etc., more transparent fees. Definitely hearing on all those ones. We want to work with, the ambassador program, etc. We want to hear from everybody on how we can do better on those ones. And I'm not going to steal Horace thunder, but we heard lots of great ideas and things that you guys are looking for from a support perspective. So it was a tough summer, and we know you guys want to hear more for the team. That's a lot of zeros on there, Timothy. So make sure someone captures that, but a lot of fans for an app there, for sure. So again, really appreciate everyone taking the time to fill that in. We're going to do a survey a couple times a year. That helps us gauge how we're moving forward, but there will be many vehicles for you guys to engage us, including account management. So you'll start to receive regular account management calls throughout the year, at least a couple times, check-ins organized with you. So that's another great spot that you guys can share with us. I also saw in the chat there, and we'll make sure it gets out in the follow-up package as well. There's an online form that we launched at last year's summit, where you can put in product feature ideas and give us your feedback. So it's already in the chat there, but we'll make sure we share that out more broadly as well. Awesome. Let me pause for a second, and Ellie or one of the team members there monitoring the chats, anything that I need to answer or follow up on before we move forward? All right. Fantastic. All right, next slide. Perfect. Well, one of my favorite people, living in one of my favorite cities in the world, had a chance to spend some time, a couple months actually, with David there last year as we were getting going in Europe. David Chausson, to talk a little bit about our Wheelbase business development team.
Thank you, Evan. Yeah, again, just wanted to welcome you all of you guys for being here today. It's a great experience to be able to do that after this crazy year. As Jeff has been explaining before, we have gone through this kind of roller coaster effect during a year. So yeah, a couple of months have gone through now, and just to give you a quick update about how we go in the biz development for Wheelbase. So first of all, beginning of the year, we had to make some tough decision. It was basically driven by one primary focus: make sure we had resources to actually support you guys properly. So we had to let go some of our former colleagues on the sales development team. Again, the primary focus was really to make sure we could really provide you with the support you require. And now, a couple of months after, we're in a totally different spot, and I can only tell you how excited I am to be part of the journey. Being here, based in France, looking at the global development for Wheelbase, I had the chance to be exposed to the issues you have, guys, in the US and Canada, but not only there, in Australia, New Zealand, and the whole Europe. So it's been really enriching for me. And today we have this great situation where I see faces on the Zoom here. And so we have Tara back in the team for the US market. We also have Mac still in the US market to support you guys. So that's just a great feeling. We're also really glad to announce that we're going to have like 2 account manager being here to ensure we are properly listening to you and channeling those feedbacks to the product team. So that's really one of the key outputs of the NPS campaign we run. But it's not only in the US, we're also going to expand in Europe and the rest of the world. So like, again, being here at this moment of the journey is just such a blessing for me. So really glad to be here, really excited about what's coming next in the future. And again, feel free to get in touch anytime you need with any of us. We'll be always here like to support, listen to you, and make sure we can provide you with the best experience. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing all your feedbacks and being transparent. That's really important for us. And really looking forward to having the next session face to face. Already missing, I see faces I've seen last year in our scene. So really looking forward to being back there and be able to share some like real face to face time. So thanks again for your trust. Thanks.
Thanks, David. Now we're going to bring on someone that many of you guys know. You may have never heard his voice before, but you've definitely seen him through the chat bubble. This is Horace.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Horst, working on the Wheelbase support team and implementation for when you first get onboarded. Yeah, you know, calling it like it is, and you know, you've told me, and we've all talked about it at one point or another this year, but it's been a stressful and difficult year from, you know, scrambling, what you guys are doing, checking in and checking out, and all kinds of traffic and unexpected, you know, renters coming and going all year, to difficulties that we've had with the software, and we're working together to find workarounds and do what we can and get out of those tough spots. But we've made it through, and we're all still here, and diamonds are made under pressure. So I think we've learned a lot through the year, and as you're already hearing, there's going to be, and there already have been, a lot of changes and more to come. That's all going to be just making it better and better and better for you. And as they've been mentioning earlier, we're listening, and I've been beating the drum. I've been leading that charge for you guys over here since day one. So don't ever think I don't have your back. But we've been implementing new processes, and there's more of that to come. Again, I've got a bunch of things all lined up ready for this new product manager to start, and we're going to be hitting the ground running on things to make Wheelbase work for you, not you have to work on Wheelbase. We're going to, and we already have been investing in doing a lot more with our help center and the FAQ content on there. So really be able to help you self-serve and get answers to your questions without having to wait for anyone to respond back, right? Everyone wants to be able to just find the answer pretty easily. So doing more of that to make it easy for you, because, you know, you may be doing something at some odd hours. Life is unpredictable. Many of you have other jobs. This isn't just the only thing that you do. Also, some self-serve on chat. That's another thing that we've already rolled out. You may have seen that. It's asking you some questions as we go through, kind of pulling out some of that really necessary information to help us dig into the problem, or dig into an explanation of what's going on. So really use that, take advantage of that. We've seen from the people that have been using it and using it well, you know, really selecting what applies to them and putting in that information, their tickets are getting solved much quicker, because by the time it gets assigned to one of the customer support reps, they've got a lot of the information right in there that would normally be some back and forth, that with delays, because it's like an email cadence, you know, you send an email, you wait, and so on. But if you just get everything all nailed in there, we can start jumping in on it. So use it as much as you can. It will make it easier for you and for us to help you. Continuing on with what we've heard and what we're listening to, I have some good news. Like Evan said, we are adding to the team. So we're going to be, over the course of the next couple of months into 2021, we're adding 5 new support team members. So more people to be able to respond quicker, especially those things that are, you know, as you're checking out and need assistance right away, and also going to be doing 24/7. So yes, Jennifer Decker, weekend support from the chat question, 24/7 will be coming by the peak times of next year, so we can get that, as well as some phone support, because, you know, sometimes it just takes a phone call. So we're adding all of those things. We're making all of those moves to make sure that we can get you help as quickly as possible. So good things are coming.
Forrest, thank you so much. I know we're going to hear more from you over the next couple days and your team. Just really big thank you to you and the team. I saw some of those thanks come through on chat, so I'm sure you will enjoy reading those ones. But yeah, Horace, huge advocate for everybody that is messaging in, everyone who's a user of Wheelbase, and did a great job putting together the business case and the planning for next year, adding to his team right away here. And then also building out for phone support. So really appreciate that. I'm really excited though to pass over. You guys already saw the sneak peek on the slide there, but really excited to pass over to Jen Young, who is one of our founders, our CMO of Outdoorsy. Jen, I think, was the first person who sat in an office for a week with a future Wheelbase user and really learned about the needs of a business. And I think is always a massive advocate for the whole community, for this industry. You've probably seen her a couple times this year on various news broadcasts and a variety of things as we were getting up there. Really good voice for our organization and the movement. So Jen, passing over to talk about our Wheelbase Ambassador program.
Let me get off of mute first. That's a good start. And thank you, Evan, for that. I know I'm going to spend more time talking about what the actual program looks like and going through the details tomorrow at the end of the session. Hopefully what everybody on the call here has realized from Jeff and Evan and Horst and David in particular is that we're really increasing. Next year is the year, around the corner, starting this year and next year is really the emphasis and the year that we'll make on working with you guys most directly in getting your ideas and insights and feedback to how we improve our product roadmap and how we work with you guys as ambassadors within the overall community to be able to set in place those strategies and communicate across the rest of the Wheelbase community member base. So what we want to be able to do, and we've had a couple of meetings internally ourselves, and we've reached out to a few people within the Wheelbase community. Please use the feedback function that we have here for you guys today to raise your hand and indicate if you'd like to participate in those meetings as we define the program. But essentially the ambassador program for us is, first of all, understanding what the best value exchange is to work with you guys and engage you. I love what Horst just said about most of you have other jobs and time and priorities are really tight for everybody in the States. But what we want to be able to do is understand, okay, what do you guys get and what does the Wheelbase team get in terms of that ideal value exchange? So on our side, what we're planning on doing is a reduction in lead fees, a priority program for funneling in high quality consigned vehicle leads to you every quarter, monthly meetings on how to grow your business, some potential cost savings in terms of insurance coverage. And I think most importantly, the camaraderie with a team who really leads and cares in building a product for the long term and building out profitable RV rental and fleet management businesses. On our side, what we would love to be able to understand is what are the ongoing product recommendations for making Wheelbase really delightful for you guys as the business owners, for your guest and reservation managers, even for the service team members working within your overall business. How do we know what is the top one or the top two features that each person in your business really wants to see in the product that will just make it more delightful to be used every day? Of course, insights on how we price effectively and more easily verify drivers so that your customers can receive insurance. You'll be a part of our overall ongoing quality assurance and rollout teams. And ideally, what we will put in place in 2021 is a way for you guys to help us educate and train the next top RV rental companies in your market. and grow that overall market so that we can funnel more demand into your cities and states. Hopefully that gives a bit of hopefully that provides some clarity on what that value exchange should be and what the individual parameters are. I think, as Evan said in the opening agenda, we've got a section dedicated to it in tomorrow's meeting. Please either use this chat function, or Evan, is there a preferred way that anybody on the call here who wants more details or wants to sign up for that program can raise their hand?
Yeah, we're going to send out a follow-up to after the summit where people can raise their own hand or even nominate someone to be part of this program. So watch for that later this week after the summit. And as Jen talked about, we'll talk a little bit about that more tomorrow and give everyone some reminders on this as well. I think the big thing there is, and I see some hands raising already, some people interested in it, which is really exciting to see. This is a chance to influence the product, influence the decisions and what we prioritize. And it's an opportunity to learn more, right? As well about what's going on in the industry, the space, other businesses, really get further engaged. So excited that this is launching. Jen, thanks for being the champion of it and driving it forward. Lots more to learn on this one, and excited to see who joins in.
And Evan, if you wouldn't mind me just saying one more thing, I know that we're focusing here on Wheelbase and pro dealers and real, business owners, but just a little bit of a shout out for the, hundreds of thousands of private RV owners who look to the Wheelbase rental businesses with some aspiration in mind and think one day I'd like to be just like them. We run since COVID kicked off, we started a Mapping the Road Ahead content series. We run monthly Zoom panels, and the last couple of them have been focused around our private owner community and talking about and demonstrating what are the ways if you wanted to take on a second, third, or fourth vehicle, if you wanted to consider your rental income being less passive and more business related, how can those people learn about what this community has figured out how to do? So would love to see those two communities and worlds merge a little bit more next year, and having these business owners train a lot of our private RV owners too on how to get involved.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great point, Jen. And my phone is starting to get text messages with people. I absolutely take bribes, whiskey, cigars for sure. Yeah, someone's on point there. But joking aside, I'm really excited to see the interest there. And I think, as Jen talked about, what we see and what we hear through the Outdoorsy part of our business is, owners who maybe they don't just want to consign their vehicle. And many of you, we saw that in the poll there, want to do some consignment, and we want to bring those relationships together, help you guys grow, and just help this continue to grow and be successful. So Jen, thank you very much for covering that. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is great. I don't think in a face-to-face summit event that I've ever led or been a part of that's ever happened before. So maybe the virtual format is helpful. We are going to have a break after our next session. So for those of you who are wondering about that is coming. But I got one quick ask before we go to the next one. We got 95 people on right now, really excited about that. We had almost 200 sign up, so I knew we'd have a little bit of drop off, but hopefully more people can join over the next little bit too. But if you're appropriate, could do me a favor, and Ellie, if you could stop sharing screen just for a second, if everyone could throw their video on just for a moment so that we could get a quick snapshot of the participants. Again, not mandatory, only do it if you're appropriate right now, and your background is too. But would really love to see everybody. It's just great to see everybody. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Deborah, hi. Awesome. So many people. I see lots of Ellies in there. I know that's because of the link we sent out there, but if you can hit rename on yours too. If it's not the right name, you can hit the little 3 buttons on your picture, the little 3 dots, and you can hit rename to put your name on there. I see Garrett on there. If you guys see Garrett Murphy, he is one of the brilliant engineers building Wheelbase and continuing to make it better. That's awesome. This is heartwarming, honestly, to see. I know we're going to take a couple snapshots here just from the team, but thank you guys. Thanks everybody for being on here today. I'm working through the different slides here. I got the picture there, Susan, of whoever's holding up that great picture. That's awesome. So thank you guys very much. Ellie, if you want to go back to presenting, I think something everyone is always interested in. I know when I get into conversations, hot topic is always like, what's coming next? Or what are you guys working on from a product standpoint? And Jeff's already talked about the investment that's going on. But fantastic partners, our product team, working really closely with them always. And that just continues to grow. Really excited to hand off to Andrew Cunningham, who leads product at Wheelbase and Outdoorsy. And then also Arpan, who is our leader of our engineering group. So welcome, guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Evan. Great to see everybody today. Super excited to get to talk to y'all. So if we could go to the next slide here. Wanted to touch real quick on some hiring we've been doing and the excitement around that. And before I get into what we're doing on the product and design side, I thought I'd hand it over to Arpan and let him chat about what we're doing with engineering. But while I wait on him, I will talk through the product and design stuff. So first off, we've made an offer out to a great product manager. He's a leader who's been leading product for 30 years, comes with a lot of great experience from eBay Motors, PayPal, and a lot of great companies, consumer companies. So I think he's going to bring a lot of knowledge and experience to the team. He's very excited to get out in the field and get to meet all of your customers and dealers and understand one, the problems and issues you're dealing and facing, and then how he can help better serve all of you. We're also going to be hiring a designer for the team. It's something we've never had before. So you should be seeing some really marked differences in the user experience of the Wheelbase product, which will really help. And coupled with engineering and our really great support team, all of that is kind of what lifts up our product experience here on Wheelbase. So we're really making big investments as much as we can in building a better team to build a better product, to better serve all of you guys to make money and have a great experience. I don't know if you're on the line now, Arpan.
Yep. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Great to virtually meet everybody here. Super excited to be engaging with all of you guys. Personally, I'm very excited to be here at Outdoorsy and help support our mission on Wheelbase. Like Jeff mentioned earlier, this is a very critical product for all of us, as well as, helping grow your businesses. With that said, our vision for Wheelbase is to become the best product that is available out there, which is embedded with data science and machine learning. A lot of the details we'll share as part of our roadmaps, but it's not just going to be day-to-day bug fixing or product improvements as well as efficiency improvements. We're going to have some data scientists and machine learning algorithms to help you recommend density areas and geographic proximity, so on and so forth, to help you understand your business better in terms of reporting functions, in terms of where the demand is coming from. So that way we can enable you to better serve your business as well as grow your business. So like I said, I'm really excited in terms of the priority that we have set for our team. Personally, for me, this is a key priority within the tech organization, within the product organization, as well as within the entire company. Our Wheelbase team is going to be the biggest team within our entire Outdoorsy family of teams and products. So really excited about the investments that we're putting in. It's going to be an amazing journey that we're going to get through. You're going to start seeing a whole bunch of improvements coming around Q4, around Q1, Q2, and Q3. And like I said, this is the topmost priority for us. Our vision is to become the best product that is available out there in terms of managing calendars, managing fleets, growing your fleets, payments, and so on and so forth. So with that said, great to meet you all. This is not going to be the first time that we're going to be meeting. I'm also going to be part of the calls on a weekly cadence or on the monthly cadence that we'll be having. So would love to hear all of your feedback. I'll also share my email and Slack here on the call, so you guys can directly reach out to me as well. But really excited to be here, really excited to be working with all of you and help grow all of your businesses.
Awesome. If you go to the next slide, when I was talking about design, there's a lot of opportunities. If you look at our other products like Outdoorsy, or you look at some other big consumer products like Google and Twitter, all these things are very usable, very simple to use. And as we go through a lot of the Wheelbase interface, I think there's some opportunity to make your guys' lives a little easier. So like I said, we're going to be investing significantly in 2021 to try and make the experience for you as easy to use as possible. If you go to the next slide. I wanted to touch on 4 focuses that will be going, or 3 focuses that will be going on or focusing on for 2021. First off, really want to try and make the product easier to use. I think that's going to be, like I said, a big benefit for you, but we also want to focus on making you more money. I think right now, just at the very base, there's some opportunities with financial reporting and how we actually make payments on the platform that we can improve. But then going further down the path, there's a lot of opportunity with premium services and our checkout experiences to help you guys make more money. And then our third focus is going to be on growing internationally. So don't worry, to all of the Wheelbase users in Europe and elsewhere, we haven't forgotten about you. We're going to be really investing in internationalizing the product, so making it more usable in each of those locales, but then also focusing on helping you guys make money uniquely in your own markets. There's different premium services, different things that we'll be offering in each of those markets. So wanted to touch on one last thing. If you go to the last slide here. We'll obviously be in close contact with you throughout the rest of this year. Won't be the last time that you see the team. I know our product team is going to be reaching out to a lot of dealers, getting feedback and working with you closely. So be on the lookout for that throughout the next year. And then lastly, I just wanted to touch real quick on the app because a few people have called it out. We ran a beta test earlier in the year, got a lot of great feedback, and we're going to be using that to inform our roadmap throughout 2021 and the next year. So unfortunately, the app's not out beyond the beta release that we had, but we are going to be taking as much as we can from that experience and the feedback that you all provided to make a great experience for you guys in the future. So thank you so much. And that's it.
Arpan, Andrew, thank you guys very much for kind of walking through that. And I think there's some great examples in the chat there. You guys are talking about from a design perspective. Like Efren, one example there was just starting in the 3-month view, right? Like if you always open up Wheelbase and you always go to the same thing every time, that's a great example of what we could do in design, right? And obviously some people might go to different areas and things like that. So there's a lot to consider. And I think Andrew probably has one of the toughest jobs in the company because, we could have 500 different ideas of how to do the same thing. And it's up to that team to kind of work through that, get the feedback and come up with the right way. So always appreciate the hard work from the product team and excited to have more design resources and horsepower there as well. And then of course, on the engineering side, we've had some fantastic engineers working on it in the past, and growing that team so that we can get more things done, I know is something that's really exciting. One other thing that I just noticed in the chats there, lots of great content. Thank you guys for putting information in there. I think it was Charles. Yeah, Charles writing in there about creating that Wheelbase user group. That ambassador program is like that user group. So just really wanted to call that out really clearly. Is being a part of that is being in that conversation on a regular basis.